Hi, it's Colin Cowherd. I started The Volume to bring you some of the most authentic voices in sports. While you're here, make sure you hit subscribe. Thanks.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk about Tennessee and Cincinnati. You and I, out of the gate, we loved Tennessee at -3.5. Nothing I have heard or seen since then makes me disagree with that. I think coming into this game, the Joe Burrows are a little bit inflated because of what they did this past week. About 83% of the money, meaning the professionals, are coming in on the Titans even at the 3.5. They're going to be healthy with all 22 of their projected starters playing. Derrick Henry back, A.J. Brown back and healthy. Julio Jones expected to play a high percentage of snaps. Mike Vrabel, 8-0 when he has more than 9 days to prepare. You and I both know he's a great coach, coach of the year. Nothing walks me away from this bet.
Nope. And I was going to say, I'm surprised you didn't talk about video of Derrick Henry coming out there. People posted video of Derrick Henry this past week practicing. Holy shit, did he look angry in practice? Like he just was bulldozing his own teammates holding the pads. Like you've heard all the rumors coming out. They want to get him 20 to 25 touches in this game. This is the secret weapon of Tennessee. This is why we like them so much. People just remember what have you done for me lately? Like they're not thinking about Derrick Henry going out this season. He was at MVP levels. Like he was literally playing at MVP level when he got hurt. Fresh legs, Derrick Henry. Man, by the time it hits that fourth quarter, it's just going to be, Cincinnati's going to be done. And that's when Derrick Henry kind of shines. So nothing changed for me either, Chad. I talked to a couple of different bookmakers. They're getting slammed with Bengals money line money. If you can look at on the Action app, it's really skewed. I believe it's over 60% of the money, 60% of the bets right now is on the money line for the Bengals. No surprise. People think they're a live dog. Teaser numbers is even more skewed. It's like over 80% of all teasers right now are towards this Bengals team. It's no surprise. It's just the Tennessee hasn't been a public team this year. Again, Vrabel, we talked about it. They were the 1 seed in the AFC. They beat the Chiefs. They beat the Bills. They beat some of the best teams in that division with Ryan Tannehill as their quarterback. And he wasn't being talked about coach of the year. Like people kept talking about LaFleur with Aaron Rodgers, who's the MVP of the league. It's like, what are we doing here? That's why I just think this Tennessee team is just disrespected. And it's one of these games where I think Vrabel's going to be playing that card to them. Like no one really believes in us. Sure, we're the favorite, but do people really like believe in us as a team? People are just talking about the Chiefs and the Bills. Like whoever wins that game is going to win the AFC. People are just sleeping on this Tennessee team. So you're right there, Chad. Like I got to take this number. I got to take Tennessee. As long as it stays under 4, you're getting a great number. Even if it hits 4, I still think that's a good number for this Tennessee side and the under. Like we talked about, I like Tennessee to ball control this game. Again, amazing story by Cincinnati. It feels like they're a year or two away from playing an AFC Championship game. So since he was at home, I'd maybe think about them in the upset. But the fact they're on the road, like Chad just said, after such an emotional big win, their coach going around giving game balls out of all those bars, like I can't get over how cool of a story that is. But that just felt like that was their Super Bowl. So we usually win in these spots. Like last week with the Raiders, we faded the Raiders off that huge emotional win against the Chargers. It worked out for us. Maybe we got a couple calls go our way. We got a little lucky, but those are the kind of situations. That's why you play those kind of numbers. And again, with this Tennessee team, I think we're getting a good number.
Reminder that the Titans -3.5 are my Scooch roulette pick. And I'm saying it now because we're going to transition into the Chiefs and the Bills a little bit more deeply. And your Scooch roulette pick was the Chiefs -2. And everything I've heard about who's back for the Titans is, the Derrick Henry video, Vrabel off of a lot of time to prepare, the Bengals sort of getting some public attention, being the public darling. And then on the other side, the Bills being very much the wise guy favorite here. Everybody loving the Bills, people talking about having the Bills power rated as their best team in the NFL. It's a pros Joe's game. Like this is the only real pros Joe's game on the board where bets are coming in on the Chiefs. Money is coming in on the Bills. The line has moved up and down a little bit. It did get down to 1.5. Simon, you say a lot of professional money coming in on the Bills on the money line.
Yep.
All that said, I still love the Chiefs here.
Yeah. And again, That's what, like, I joke with people all the time about trusting your gut in these moments. It's like, not gonna lie, a couple of the pros I talk to, they're better than me. They've won longer, they've been around the books a lot longer. When they start breaking me down while they're on the Bills, it's all sound, it all makes sense. But I keep saying to them, like, you're really gonna bet against Mahomes in Arrowhead? Like, we're really gonna bet on the Bills to beat them twice in 1 year? That's a lot to ask of Josh Allen. And Josh Allen's going to be paying back his demons of having a letdown multiple times this past season. Like that Jags game, that cost them a 1 seed. There's little moments where this past season the Bills cost themselves, and I think it's going to come to the forefront in this matchup. And again, we saw last week every home team won and covered except the 49ers, who went on the road and beat Dallas. It's just hard to win on the road in the playoffs. Last year, people were like, oh, look how great the road teams are doing. There's no fucking fans. Like, that's a big deal. There's no fans in the stadiums. It was literally quiet and pumped in music. We've seen it this year flip back to what it usually is, where it's home teams have an advantage because of that. That crowd noise, it really makes it hard to communicate. And Josh Allen, we saw it last week. He loves to talk the line. That's why he's such a great commander. He's moving guys. He's doing different things like that. I'm right there with you, Chad. I still think we're getting a great number in this matchup. And just looking at the numbers, I think it's moving, honestly, because of what we talked about, how many pros are coming on the money line. And the public, we'll see what the teasers number are come Sunday. This is number one tease team right now. You're able to tease them up to 8.5, 7.5. We talk all the time how those are such key numbers. No surprise. So I'll take the value on this Chiefs team. I'm honestly excited to see what kind of matchup this will end up being, because it's just giving me these bad vibes of this Bills team literally is coming off, again, a perfect game, just a complete letdown in this spot. Stuckey talked about it. Teams that win by more than 40 points, they're less than, I believe, 40% against the spread the following week in the playoffs. Like, it's little things like that where teams have these crazy offensive explosions, and the following week they kind of have a letdown because, again, it's a lot easier beating up on Mac Jones than it is Mahomes on the road. So I get why you say it's a lot of professional money. Like, I've talked to pros who are coming on the Bills. It's going to be a lot of public too, though, just like off that fact alone, where it's the Bills team. They were the best team last week, no doubt. Like, that was historical what we saw. So that's why I like to give shit to people that make bets. In the playoffs, I don't really do it because I can see why people are on the Bills. Like, they're arguably the most complete offense, most complete defense in the playoffs. It's just the Mahomes factor. I can't stress it enough how special this kid is. And when he's getting overlooked like he is in this game, when all the money's coming on the Bills, this is when you want to back Mahomes. So I do think we're getting a really good number here, Chad.
The stat that you're referring to, though, is there is a pretty good system and precedent where teams that blow teams out the week before and win by 4 touchdowns or more.
The key was covered by 28 or more, right?
Yeah, covered by 28 or more. Tend to not cover the following week. Look, this is the game. Like, this is the game. Lines are being drawn. You're taken aside. It's really hard to bet against the 2-time defending AFC champions at home with a generationally great quarterback when they are less than a field goal favorite. Think about that. Less than a field goal favorite for Patrick Mahomes at home. I know what everyone's saying about this Bills team. Offensively, one of the best. Defensively, one of the best. It is their time. Simon, I thought you made an incredible point. The Bills' inability to close out certain teams and be as consistently great early in the year, this is when it potentially costs them. And that Jags game, that is it right there. I cannot wait till this is what divisional playoff weekend is about. This game, Chiefs, short home favorites against the Bills.
And it's why the NFL is just the best. Like,
the best.
We went from getting Brady and Peyton Manning in every AFC, to decide the AFC Championship kind of games, to now we have Josh Allen, Mahomes for the next 10, 15 years. It's the NFL just reloads up on these dynamic all-star quarterbacks. And it's like, that's why, again, if the Bills win, it's going to hurt me because I'm going to lose some money. I'm going to be happy because I like Josh Allen a lot. Love Bills fans. Obviously love Matt Mitchell. It's just a great story that this Bills team ain't the team that choked 4 straight Super Bowls. This team, if they get over this demon, this hump of this Chiefs team that keeps taking them down, we'll deal with it next week. But might be a team of destiny in this Bills team if they can pull off the upset.
This game is down to 1.5, by the way. I'm with you. If they lose, if the Bills win and I lose this bet, I'm okay with it. I've got a decent sized future on the Bills anyways. So it's a little bit of a hedge for me because in my heart, every time I talk about it, I really want the Bills to win.
Me too.